Hey people, Demon here, and today I am reviewing um Sweet Home, that's what it's called. Now, this Netflix live action series is based off of like a manga-ish thing. Excuse me. It's not a manga, but it's kind of like a manga, something kind of like that. And I have personally seen it. And it's pretty good. It has some weird twists and turns here. It has some things I disagree with. But all in all, the story is pretty good. But all in all, it's pretty good. Okay, so this one um is based off of that story ever so loosely because it's not actually super but it is based off of it, but it's not actually like a good adaptation, I would say. Now, I would say good adaptation would have been something like Tower of God animation. You ever see Tower of God? The animation for that show, it's pretty good. I don't know about the actual. Is it called a web comic? I don't know, something like that. I don't know about the actual thing 'cause I've never seen it, but I know the anime is good. But instead of that kind of what would you call it? Not interpretation, adaptation. That's what I'm trying to say. Instead of like an animated adaptation, we got a Netflix live action series, I should say, that has room for season two, by the way. And it could have went one out of two ways. It could have went like really well or really horrible. And of course, it went really horrible. Uh, I'm gonna spoil this thing, so beware of that. But before I spoil it, it's horrible. Don't watch it. Go check out the source material. It's way better. It has some twists and turns that I don't agree with, but it's a lot better. This, on the other hand, is just bad. Comparably so. Although I guess if you watch this first, you might like it better. I don't know. But comparably so to me, it's horrible. Okay, so spoiler alert time. So the premise is that the world is getting infected with monsters, and we don't know exactly what these monsters are, but it's speculated that like it's the soul or something. I don't know. There's a lot of like things that they say in this in the thing, right? A lot of things they say, but there's these monsters, okay? um, and in the source material, they're everywhere. There's so much of them that you can't even leave the apartment without getting attacked. In the live action, they're supposedly everywhere, and you supposedly can't leave the apartment without getting attacked, even though there was a giant hole in the end. There was uh, several times people left and didn't get attacked by monsters. So it's kind of stupid that they said, oh, there's too much monsters out there. We can't leave without getting attacked, which means we can't go get food and stuff. Yet, they left several times without being attacked. Because there wasn't as much monsters out there as there should have been. When in the actual, like, original source material, there was, like, too much monsters out there that they would got attacked immediately. So, that's the first thing I hate about this thing. They worry about like the food supplies and all that stuff. But yet in reality, all the food supplies and stuff they wouldn't have to worry about because they could leave the apartment without being attacked immediately. When in the source one they couldn't because there's too much monsters around. So that's stupid. Okay, another thing is they sped up some things. They got rid of some things and they changed some things. They got rid of some characters. They added some more characters. Like at the end. Hey people, just remind you to subscribe, hit that bell, like, comment, and share this video on my Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok down below. Sorry about that little pause, but as I was saying, They got rid of a lot of stuff. They added some stuff in, and they got rid of some characters, and they added some characters in, and it's stupid and annoying, to be honest. Like, they added a firefighter girl in, and basically her whole character arc is to get pregnant, well, is to be pregnant, to go out, to find the evil military, which wasn't a part of the original story at all. Neither was she, by the way. And her husband supposedly knew about the virus or whatever, and now she's tasked to go find the special infected, which is our main character. Which, by the way, our main character, spoiler alert, just in case you're wondering, our main character in this show, after about 15 days, you can pretty much control the monster inside you. In the original, it didn't matter how long you had the monster. It was just a constant struggle to control it, which is why by the end he turned full monster, and like kind of died, but didn't kind of die at the same time. And at the end, most people died. Like there was only like 7 people left. Like, and it kind of kept like the main fact that most people were horrible, and then they kind of like got together and they started to work together. But at the end, most people died except for like 7 people. It was crazy. It was awesome. And it was all because of our main character. Not to mention the changes they made to other characters and like the whole military thing. That's really stupid. I don't know why they did that. That's stupid. At the end, the military was in the original, but they were like helping people instead of trying to, I don't know, experiment on half monsters, I guess. I don't know. But whatever, I guess. But anyways, the characters that they ruined. The first one is the sister character to the guy. In this one, she's a lot older, it seems, and a lot more crazy and bitchy and just an all-out idiot. In the original, she's kind of bratty, but you can tell that she loves her brother and stuff, and you can tell that she wants to do good. In this one, she's kind of just like a bitchy side character. And then we have the Katana Man. Forgot his name. But basically, he has the katana, and to be honest, he is in there for a bit, and then he gets killed. In the show, he's in there for a bit, then he gets killed. And his death doesn't really lead to much except sadness, I guess. And he definitely doesn't confess his love. And I don't think he's religious either. Or at least very religious. In this show, the Qatar lady, as I like to call her because I forgot her name again, she is kind of a bitch and a side character, and she got sick, which I don't think happened in the source material, which is stupid. Because why would she need to get sick when there's a bunch of monsters? Which, by the way, we only had in like 5 or so episodes when the whole thing's supposed to be about monsters. But whatever. But anyways, she, in the original, her and the main character kind of have a thing. And by the end, you can kind of tell that they have a thing. Like, oh, that's cute, right? But in this one, she kind of has this thing with the sword guy. And in the original, they kind of hinted towards something like that, maybe until he died. And then she kind of like got like kind of a thing with the main character, but not really because they never showed anything exclusively. But I think at the end, they hooked up. I don't know. I'm just saying, I think at the end. And then we have the buff guy. The buff guy in this is basically just a hired killer slash finder. He just kills people, I guess. In the original, I think he was a tenant and also a disgruntled cop or something like that, because he was like a retired cop because he did something bad in his last job. And I remember he doesn't like killing people unless he absolutely has to, and he can beat them up, but he doesn't like killing people unless he absolutely has to because he's just not that kind of guy. And plus, his previous job like made him do some pretty horrible things, I think, or something like that. It's pretty interesting. Or maybe made him lose something. I don't know exactly the backstory, but it made something happen to him. But pretty interesting in the first one. In this one, they make him a generic thug that has a heart of gold, I guess. So that's something. Um, so that's another character ruined. And let's see. They rush through the story of the old man being his wife and being a total asshole. They rush through that story. They rush through her story of turning into a monster. The best character I would say they got right is the older brother slash leader character. He's very cold, but then he slowly gets better and slowly like okay, we gotta help these people sort of thing. He wants to help people, yet he has to make hard decisions. And he hopes that he hopes for the best, but he has to make hard decisions. And then at the end, he sacrifices himself in both of them, by the way. In the first one, though, he actually does it for a proper reason. He sacrifices himself by turning into a monster and enveloping our main character, because our main character turns into a monster. Spoiler alert, just in case you're wondering. They both turn into monsters. The main character turns into a monster to fight off the criminals, which we'll get into after this. But, turns into a monster to fight off the boss criminal, wins, can't control himself, and then the brother figure turns into a monster and stops him. And then it leads into, like, him turning back into a human because all the monsters turn into eggs, and then turn into, like, these human-type beings that kind of are themselves, but kind of not. But his human-type being has memories and somehow has a know-it-all to go to where his family is, or his friends. I guess they're kind of his family at this point. To go to them and reunite with them. Now, is he back to normal? We don't know in the main thing. In this one, he's just alive, and they're hoping for a second season, I assume. Which, by the way, I might watch, I might not. If I don't make a review, I didn't watch it. If it comes out. Okay, so that happens. And then there's these criminals in both, okay? So in the first one, these criminals come to this place to take the food and water and stuff, but they're nice because they only have like one gun and they're outnumbered. And also they both have two super powered humans. So they're kind of evenly matched at this point. But they come to this place to kind of fuck with people, pretty much. And the reason why they're so like little in number and they only have such a thing is because there's too much monsters to get anything. But in this one, there was like a whole group with just automatic machine guns. And they're like, oh, we just killed everybody and took stuff because there's not too much monsters out there. Even though there is too much monsters out there. And the only reason they're able to escape at the end is because most of the monsters are trying to turn to eggs. And it's stupid that they made the show like that without making the monsters into eggs. It's just stupid, okay? Like, the live action version is just stupid. The original version has some stupid things in there. Some things I disagree with, but is very good. Very interesting and very good. But yeah, all in all, the live action version, compared to the original, sucks. It just sucks. It's lackluster. It's supposed to be about monsters, and there's only like 5 episodes with actual monsters in it. Maybe like 6 or 7 if you're lucky, out of a 10 episode thing. And there's only like a few minutes of monsters, which is sad. The characters are completely changed. Like, the Qatar chick, her and the main character, again, have a kind of thing. And I'm pretty sure it's going to turn to romance if he actually has all his memories. But yeah, her and him have a kind of thing, and plus she's a lot nicer. The Katana guy, he dies a lot sooner, so we don't really get to know much about him. The old man that's in this that dies at the very end, he dies like almost immediately. The buff guy, the strong guy, he is not just a thug with a heart of gold. He's just a cool guy. And also, our main character does get treated badly, but doesn't get locked up for a large part of it. So yeah, that's the whole thing. It's just a lot better, and then this is kind of garbage. I hope they do make this into an adaptation one day, but an animated adaptation that would actually follow what we had before and actually make it. Sorry about that little pause there, but as I was saying, I hope they do make an adaptation of this one day, and it's an animated adaptation or a live action adaptation that actually follows the storyline. That would be pretty awesome. So, what else was there to hate about this thing that sucked? Um, I guess that's about it. The hate about it that sucked. Let's see what was good parts about it. The acting was good, I guess, to a certain extent. It was good, it was good acting. Um, Kind of stupid how the brother leader at the end of the original, he kills himself by stopping the monster that is our main character, allowing him to revert back into a human eventually, and hopefully turn back into his normal self and have a relationship with them. In this one, he kind of just sits there and lets a building fall on top of him. That sucks, and it's stupid. He's just like, hey, I'm gonna go talk to this guy because you guys go crawl through the catacombs. I guess that's stupid, but whatever. That happens, and I'm gonna go talk to this guy, and then I'm gonna sit down and get crushed by a building because I don't know. That's the reason why. Because I don't know. So I'm just gonna get crushed by a building. It's pretty stupid. But other than that, the animation, I mean, not animation, sorry. I wish it was animation. The acting, pretty good. The voice acting, pretty good. All in all, just good acting, I guess. The storyline ruins a perfectly good story. Um, Characters, vast majority of them, even the main characters that we had in the original like adaptation, are kind of just delegated to sidelines because they only have like an hour each episode. There's only 10 episodes, so they kind of have to rush through some things and they kind of have to throw some characters to the side. And in the original, most people got like a little time to shine, but in this, it's just like, oh yeah, this character still exists, by the way. It's kind of stupid. Um, but yeah, they're like, oh, this character still exists, and this character can still do this. In the original, it's just like, hey, we're focusing on these characters and these characters and these characters. Pretty awesome. But in this, just kind of like, oh, they still exist. um, so script and characters, just all in all, not a good adaptation. Uh, and the animation, the special effects, they were kind of cool, kind of funny, but not scary. They at times looked like they were from the early 2000s, and looked really ridiculous. But at times it looked really funny and maybe semi creepy, and it looked pretty interesting. So yeah, there's a mixture. There's a mixed bag there, but all in all, fun to watch the little animations of the people. Just in general, fun to watch those. Those are probably the best parts, were the animations of all these different monsters that we didn't get to see very often because we had boring dialogue to get through, just boring people talking to each other all the time about boring stuff. But sometimes there's some action, so yeah, that happens. So yeah, all in all, main stuff is good. This just trash, just garbage. I wouldn't watch it. To be honest, I might watch the second season just to make a review on it if there is one. But if there's not, I won't make a review on it because I mean, if there is one, I might not make a review on it because this one just sucked too much. But yeah, all in all, it sucks. I wouldn't say watch it, but if you want to watch it, watch it. If you haven't looked at the source material, then you might like this one a lot better. But I don't know. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, and share. Hit that bell notification. Best way to keep my channel. Link down below to my Twitter. Shadow, my baby, I love you so much. You're my baby. And you love to sleep in the bathtub. 'Cause you're a weirdo. Shadow, look.